Good morning, everybody from snowy Michigan, right? It's cold. It's cold. Snowlord. The Metalhead Viking Caveman Trucker is first. Big Houston, what's up? Good morning, everyone, says Shannon Thomas. Now, let's talk about Snowlord's video, man. CDN Freight Broker. Very, very knowledgeable person. It's great to have him as an asset to come into these videos and share his knowledge, right? And that's what it's all about. That's what we have these channels for, is to try and share the knowledge with everybody that wants to learn, right? Everybody wants to learn. If you don't want to learn, go watch those other channels, right? Go watch them, have fun, live the drama, whatever. Just go have at it. And if you're running your business and you follow channels that don't teach, then you're probably not going to be in business very long, right? You're probably not going to, because you're going to hear all the wrong stuff. It's what not to do, but you're going to follow those channels, and you're going to end up in some serious trouble. TJ's video last night. I got a message that TJ was live, so I said, okay, what's the Bull of the Woods talking about? He was having a good old time, wasn't he? TJ was having a good old time. Morning. Says Snorlord. Yeah. See, I could, if anybody's got OCD or something, I could spin this around a little bit, so it looks more level. At the top. Here, let me turn the camera just a little bit more. Because somebody might say, hey, man, that thing's crooked, right? It might bother them. So we'll just do this. I could put a green screen up. No, you're not in trouble, Snorlord. That goes back to people not reading. Same thing when you become an owner-operator. People will go into a lease purchase, and they don't read the key. They don't. And then they start crying and want everybody to feel sorry for them. That they got this deal that's really not a good deal because they didn't read the contract. If someone's doing a lease purchase with you and you say, oh, they stole money from me. No, they didn't. I guarantee you it's in black and white. You did not read it. Why? Because you're too lazy to read it. And if you're not knowledgeable and know what the words are, that's what lawyers are for. Go spend $100, $200 or $300. It might save you a lot of pain. Spend the money. Don't step over, dollars to save a penny. There was up to 75 people at one point. Someone might bound to learn something, right? That's a good number. You get up to 75, 100, 150, 200, anywhere in there. And that's what floors me, right? If you look at all the educational channels in trucking, you don't get a whole lot of viewership. But if you look at all the drama and the train wreck channels, they'll have hundreds and hundreds of people watching that. It just shows you the state of mind of the individuals in this business. It's unbelievable. If you look at the RV industry, let's say, and I have channels in there and they do very well, Facebook and so forth, those are people that are, wanting to learn that part of the thing, right? RV and things like that. And all those channels do really well. They're not about drama. It's about learning things and the discussion. They do really well. Same thing with some of these food channels and things like that. But when you get into trucking, man, it's like a drama central, right? So we'll just keep doing what we do. We'll keep teaching. And, if we get 5 people in here, that's fine. If 5 people become successful from this channel, then we're successful, right? It doesn't matter if you have 200 or 300, 100,000 views, 200,000 views. It doesn't matter if you have a channel that you degrade trucking and make tons of money off of it. You're not helping the industry. right? You're not helping the industry. You're helping only one person, yourself, nobody else. In the last 7 to 10 years, we have helped hundreds. Who knows how many? Could be thousands of drivers become owner-operators and then move on to other parts of the business that they wanted to go to. So we have a really good track record. And hey, that's what it's all about, is helping the other driver. What's up, Cool Trucking? What's going on? Hope you're staying warm. I read mine thrice, 100. That's your opinion on JCT. Oh, what's your opinion on JCT lease purchase program? Is that, was it Justin Christian Trucking or something like that? Is that what you're talking about? Fishing His Life, JCT, that company? I know nothing about their lease program. Now, if you sent me some information on it, I would gladly go through it and give you my opinion. And that's exactly what it'd be my opinion, right? You take it for what it's worth, and you can do more research. But if you want my opinion, I'll give it to you. But I'd have to go in and look at that lease purchase program. If you have the documentation that shows everything that's involved in it, email it to me, right? Email it to me, and I'll look it over. If you were thinking about going there, and you emailed it to me, you just call me personally and we could go over it, right? Too many people live off the spot market. Tony, that's not, you guys are something else, right? The spot market is bigger than dedicated freight. It's bigger. There's more mom and pop companies in America than the big conglomerate. It's a bigger market. Maybe too many people live off dedicated freight. Because, if you look at trucking companies that lay off and stop hiring, they're not in the spot market freight. They're in the dedicated business. Why? Because they lose those contracts. Because somebody else slides in there and does it cheaper. And then if they have, let's say they have a Walmart contract and they run 5 DCs for Walmart. And let's say it's the Big Orange that has those 5. And then you got the Big Swift comes in and they outbid them. Next thing you know, the Big Orange slides out, the Big Swift slides in. And then what do they do with all those drivers and trucks? Because they lost the big contract. They either got to run them on their open board or on spot market, or they stop hiring until they get another contract to move those trucks. But usually what happens is those individuals get less and less miles. They don't get the pay that they used to get, and then they quit. Right? That's the thing about company driving. If you're working for a company and you're on a dedicated route, that dedicated route goes away. Most of those people on a dedicated route leave. Why? Because it got them through the house, or it got them home every day or every other day, and that's why they did it. So they'll leave that company and they'll go to another company that might have a dedicated route by them, or they'll go to the company that got that dedicated route. They will switch companies. That's the nature of this beast. So no, not too many people love the spot market. If you say that, then there's too many truck drivers in the country. And there's not. We just need better pay. But then that comes with mentality. Do you know what you're worth? Because a lot of people get into this business and they run for a lot less money than what they actually need. Why? Because they look at cost per mile. Cost per mile changes. It's too has too many variables in cost per mile. And they sat there and they listened to some folks on satellite radio that would sell you snake oil, right? And it reminds me of some other people on YouTube, on YouTube that sell you snake oil, right? But on satellite radio, and before that, you had an individual sold you snake oil, right? Everybody remember the Turbo 2000 Beta or whatever they called that piece of junk that didn't work? But they sold it on that channel. Sold it. How about micro blue bearings? Sold it. How about Eden Pure? How about what's some of the other ones? Right? What's some of the other stuff? Look, man, if micro blue bearings were that great, Kenworth would put them in every single truck. Freightliner would put them in every single truck. Do they? No, they do not. Same thing with a Turbo 2000 Beta. If it got you all that kind of fuel mileage, they would do that. Then they also sold, the tabs, right? Little sticky things to stick on the side of the truck. Come on, people, get real. If that actually increased your aerodynamics, don't you think that these big trucking manufacturers that spend millions and millions of dollars in the wind tunnels would say, oh, wow, that does work. So we'll just make our fairings look like that. Would they not? Would they not? Alaska Trucker, my favorite YouTube channel. What's up, Jerry? Eddie, what's going on? Hope you and your family are doing well. What's up, John? John, I haven't seen you in a long time. Didn't you used to go by Illini Trucker or something like that back in the day? 6, 7, 8, 10 years ago. I believe that's you, right? Yeah, John Christner. That's it, John Christner Trucking. Yeah, send me the info. Who pays $1 a mile? Big Houston, John Christner. Clyde says, I can vouch, the big hoss here, Clyde, right? I can vouch for that you helped me just by letting me watch and listen. I appreciate that, Clyde, but, you came over here, right? You ran the system, you learned, and you ventured out on your own. Last I checked, JCT requires a minimum 3 weeks out of their lease ops. That might be different now. Spot market is to get back to your area of working. Too many rookie owner ops running the spot market into the ground. No, that's not right, Tony. It's not right. Because let me tell you why it's not right. If you're a single owner operator in this business and you do not have a brokerage, you should not be doing a dedicated route if you have to sign a contract for that dedicated route. If you got a mom and pop place that says, yeah, haul these 2 or 3 loads a week out for us, and if you don't show up, they don't care, then it's okay. But if you have to sign a contract that, hey, those loads have to move and you don't have a brokerage and then your truck can't do it, there's a big penalty to pay. And if I wanted a regular job, I'd just go get a regular job because that's what that is. That's what dedicated freight is. If you're one truck guy, one truck gal, and you do a dedicated route, it's a job. You're doing the same job over and over and over and over. It's just a job. It's what it is. Just saying. And if you're an owner-operator, you become an owner-operator for what reason? Freedom, right? Most people become an owner-operator for freedom. It's not about the money. Because I'll tell you one thing, if I had to go back to company driving, I would not. I don't care if I was making $1,000 less a week than the company guy. I wouldn't go back because there's no freedom there. You're told exactly what to do, when to do it, and how to do it. And then you got to ask, someone probably 10 or 20 years younger than you, if you can go home. Absolutely not. Plus, you're driving that truck and you're buying that truck. You're paying for that truck off your sweat. because they're making money and they're paying you and the truck and everything else that goes with it. And then they're still making money. Well, that's the problem, right? If you're renting trucks, trailers are no problem, but truck rentals cost more than just buying the truck. So their overhead's too high. And that's another thing. You don't run a fleet. You do not run a fleet of your own trucks on the spot market with company drivers. Of course you don't. If you do, then that's when you get dedicated. See, there's always a place for dedicated freight. If you have a fleet of, let's say, 20 trucks, then you could go, but not 20 owner-operator trucks. Because, see, here's the difference. If you go get a dedicated route, and that route pays, let's say it pays $3 a mile, right? Follow me on this. Let's say it pays $3 a mile, and you have 10 loads a week. So 10 of your owner-operators say, yeah, I'll do that because the rates are $2.50 a mile on average on the spot market, let's say, and they say, well, I'm making more money. So they do that. But then you get the turn of the economy, and the spot market goes to $4 to $5 a mile. And this guy's sitting down here at $3. Is he going to stay there and run that dedicated freight for $3? When all of his other buddies, the other 10 drivers ain't running it, are running for $4 and $5 a mile. No. Then you're going to have to sit there and service that customer with outside trucks. And that's going to be a problem. Because how are you going to get those trucks in there? It's spot market trucks. And a spot market guy, unless he's really stupid, is not going to go haul it for $2.50 when he can get $5. It's not going to happen. So then you lose that customer. But if you have 20 trucks and they're all yours, and you got company drivers, then of course you have dedicated freight. Why? Because that's consistent money for your company for the whole year, and it keeps you in business. Because it's consistent money, and most businesses, if you look how they're structured, they'll have enough dedicated freight to pay their whole operation for the whole year. And then everything else is all gravy on top. That's how the business works. So if I had 20 trucks and company drivers were in them, and I had dedicated freight, and it was $3 a mile, and I had 10 trucks on it, and I had the other 10 trucks on the spot market, and then when the spot market got really good, it doesn't matter, I'm making money, I'm still making the bigger money there, and I'm still serving this customer, that keeps me in business when the rates go below 3. That's the difference. It depends on your business setup. How you're set up in the business. So is spot market bad? No. Is dedicated freight bad? No. Each one of those serves a purpose. But you got to know what business it serves. That's just like everybody can argue about trailers. Reefer pays more right now. Van pays less. Flatbed pays this. Step deck pays this. RGN pays this. Tanker pays this. Bulk pays this. Rail pays this. We can go on and on and on. And everybody will have a different opinion on what business to get into. But whatever business you're in, find the people that are doing that business, find them that are doing it right, and partner up with those people. Because you can learn off each other. I think Tony got me into a rant. Sorry. Well, see, here's the problem, Tony. I got to go on. If you look at Falcon Transport out of Ohio, right? They had all their eggs in one basket called General Motors, automotive freight. The automotive freight went down to nothing. What happened to that company? Out of business, thousands of trailers and trucks gone because of dedicated freight. Gone because of dedicated freight. Because some of those businesses, and if you look at a lot of them, had dedicated freight. Look at the big grocers that went out of business in the Northeast. It was all dedicated freight. They went out. Thousands of trucks gone. Dedicated freight. Just saying. The big markets are like a coral reef. Many entities thrive off their mass. The small guy feeds off the big guy. That's what Cool Trucking says. C.H. Robinson laid off 650 people, I read. Well, they're supposed... I think the initial thing was 1,200 is what they were saying. So if they only did 650, I mean, there's a lot of people that got blessed and kept their jobs, right? Yeah, of course it's good when a rates drop is low. I got freight right now, and I got guys right now that are running a spot market that make a whole lot more money than the dedicated. Because you just got to know where to run. You got to know how to run the business. And that's the problem. Because most people want miles. And guess what? Miles is not money. Miles is not money. Because, and the reason why I say this is because people go, I got to do 2,000 miles, man. I got to do that cross country. It's not money. You do 2,000 miles at $2 a mile, it's $4,000. You do 100 miles for $600-$700. You don't have to do very many of those to equal the $4,000. The short regional will always beat the long haul over time. Always. Because it's just more about the money. You also got a lot of maintenance when you do long haul trucking. What's up, Andrew? Got my truck because of you. You convinced me to leave Prime and came to the Big Orange and paid off my truck 3 years ago. Good job, man. Congratulations. Awesome. What's up, Mallory? What's going on? What's up, Stuart? And did Hirschback buy JCT? John says they sure did. CDN says everything he's saying is 100% accurate. I appreciate that, Canadian Freight Broker. If it's not, let me know, right? FleetOwner.com refrigerator transport article. Snowloader's throwing an article up there, probably about who owns who. With freedom comes a cost. Freedom comes with a cost. That's right. It does come with a cost, Snowlord. It does. Right? Because you have good times, you have hard times. And the problem with this industry, when you're talking carriers, now, you got to watch who owns the carriers. Right? Do they save the money? Right? For bad times to get through there? Probably not. They probably don't. That's one problem. Right? That's one problem. So, if you do go to work for somebody as a company driver, or if you lease onto somebody, talk to the drivers, right? Look at the operation. See what's going on. Do your homework. And the freedom doesn't come with a cost because, you know, you might not make as much money as you want to. But if freedom is the most important thing, then that's what it is. Look, it's not all about money. If you live your life all about money, you're living it wrong. If you're religious, then you know what you live for. That's what matters. Money and everything else is materialistic. No, spot market. I can make just as much money in January, February, March as anybody can on contract freight. I made more money on spot market than I did at Schneider. Schneider was consistent. right? Schneider's consistent. If you're on with Schneider National, lease operator, you're basically going to make the same money year after year after year. And it doesn't matter if it's January, February, March, June, July, August, doesn't matter. You're going to be making close to the same amount of money. In the spot market, if you take it over time, which that's what you need to do in a business, take it yearly, you're going to be, if you're looking at money-wise, you're going to be better off doing that. Why? Because you can negotiate. You can't negotiate dedicated rate. Can't do it. DIY semi suggested to find the work prior to buying a truck. Is that something most owner operators do? Well, it depends. Find the work on what? I mean, you can go to a place and you can knock on all the doors, say, hey, I got a truck, would you let me haul your freight? And, if they say, yeah, that's okay, have your truck here tomorrow. Why don't I don't have a truck yet. I'm going to get one. And by the time you get one, do you really have anything? Yes, no, maybe. But then there you go. If you're a one truck guy and you're running dedicated for one outfit, that outfit closes, you're done. You have nothing left. If that outfit gets mad at you because your truck broke down, says you're not reliable because you only got one truck. We need somebody with 10 or 15 trucks. So if that truck breaks down, they got another one to come right behind them and keep it going. Now, if you're in a different business, if you're in a dump trucking business, yeah, you're working local. People call you up and hire your dump truck. And then you might do there's no contracts, just for the time of the work, right? So if some places do a big excavating job and say, hey, we need your dump truck for 2 weeks, and you're going to work for us for 2 weeks, you'd be here from 8 a.m. until 8 p.m., and they're going to pay you that hourly wage, that daily rate, and no matter if you haul 1 load or 10 loads, it's different. Clyde says spot works for my schedule, direct and dedicated. You work by their schedule. That's right. Take spot any day. Exactly. Because if you're sitting at home and you've done that run, and they have nobody else, they're going to call you. Why? Because you're the dedicated guy, and they're going to say, hey, we need you now. This load's ready now. Come pick it up. And you might be going to your kids' graduation party, or might be, Sweet 16 or whatever, and you're going to miss it. Why? Because that's your customer, and you got to take care of that guy. If you don't take care of that guy, you don't have a job now, right? You just lost that cushy, dedicated home time run. Because they don't care what's going on at your home front. They don't care. Health and happiness is true wealth. Facts. That's right, Southbound. Exactly. Did I get my snowmobiles ready to run yet this year? Well, Semper, I do. I have one of them all ready to go. The other one, I'm going to have to wrench on it. I got to check the clutch out of it and things. I got to take it apart and wrench on it and see if I can figure out why it's not fully engaging in the forward spot. Probably because it hasn't been driven in years. So it's probably seized up a little bit. So I got to, I'll take it apart and see what's going on. Can't do much negotiating when uneducated drivers flooding the ranks. Well, they'll be done by nutrition, right? They'll be all filtered out. Because one, they probably got in when the rates were super high. Then, those types of folks, they'll go out and buy everything under the sun because they're going to live at this income level, because that's what most Americans do, right? They live above their means, most of them. So they will go buy everything that they can. And then they bought probably a truck for $230,000, $240,000, $250,000, which is way too much money. And they probably spent $50,000 to $100,000 in a trailer, which is way too much money. And they'll be weeded out And then the people that are save their money are just waiting because all that equipment will hit the auctions and everything else. And then sooner or later, they'll be down below, way below their value. And then those individuals snatch them up and keep growing. The spot market for self-dispatch drivers is a water valve. Turn on and off when and where you want to work. Exactly, CDN. You can work whenever you want. And there's always loads somewhere. You might not like them. And if you don't like where you're at, guess what? Drive somewhere where the load pays better. But then you got drivers out there that says, "Oh, deadhead. I'm not doing deadhead. I won't do more than 25 miles. I won't do more than 50 miles." Why not do 300, 400, 500? That's stupid. I wouldn't do that. Well, guess what? Haul for $1. You can go 500 miles to get 4. And at the end of the day, you net several $100s more money. But that guy that says he'll never deadhead, he will never see that. He'll never see that. And the guys that go by, I need $250 a mile cost per mile, right? I need $250, I need $275 a mile to run my truck. And they're sitting in an area that doesn't pay $275 a mile. Or they're sitting in an area that only paying $1.80. They'll sit there for 3, 4, 5 days. Are you kidding me? They'll sit there for 5 days. Oh, well, I got me one. Pays $3 a mile, goes 100 miles. Or might go 150 miles. And then they're still got a deadhead a long ways because they're not even out of that area yet. But when they sit that long, they don't need $3 anymore. They need a whole lot more than that. My computer locked up. What's up, Dean? You're live on YouTube. You called in. I don't know. You probably...
What's up, brother? Well, I actually just called to chat it up, but what are you talking about?
Oh, we were talking about, first we're going to start showing the spot market on the 1, 2, 3 load board, but then I got into a rant about business, and then, comments got me off on a different subject, and then they were talking about dedicated is better than spot, and I said, not if you're a carrier that has... If you're a carrier that has drivers, you got a lot of drivers and a lot of trucks, but you own them, then yeah, you're going to have some dedicated freight because that pays your business. Right? But if you're a one-guy operation, dedicated is not where it's at because now it's a job.
That's right.
And if you don't do that job, they'll just replace you. So if you have special things you need to do with your family, you're not going to make it if they call you up and say you need to haul that load. Because if you don't, they'll find somebody that will.
No, they will. I mean, look, we talk about this all the time. If you want contract freight, that's kind of, I'm not saying that's an easy way out, but it sort of is. However, you're really not bettering yourself because it's still paycheck mentality, right?
Bingo.
If you go out on the spot market, and I know you don't like the whole sales thing, but look, you're going to make a lot more money or a lot more commission on the open market, i.e. the spot market, than you ever will contract freight. And yet, the other thing is, look, a lot of people say, well, contract freight's more consistent, Well, you make your own consistency. If you go to work every day and you book loads or 3 days a week, it doesn't matter. You make your own consistency. So if you work the system, whatever system it is, that you set out for yourself, and if you plan accordingly, you'll do the same, if not better. That's how I look at it. Not saying that's the right way, but that's how I look at it.
Contract's only consistent if you don't get underbid.
Right. Well, and that contract's only as good as the paper is written on.
Right. They can change it whenever they feel like it.
Yeah, and if somebody else comes in and underbids you, who knows what goes on, right? But I've been a company guy and worked contracts, and I've worked it for 2-3 years. Now this is back in the 90s, but they went away. So, now out with a contract price ready to go. But I think one is too tough, and number two, if you came out to be an owner operator, most guys want to do it because of the freedom and the ability to not have a ceiling income-wise. So you can make as much or as little as you want.
Right. Mike Johnson, hello. Welcome to the channel. My buddy down there in Georgia. Glad you showed up. All right, keep on going, Dean. Had to do a shout out. Had to do a shout out to Mike.
I hear you. Well,
Hope the family's doing well, Mike. Hope they're doing well. Andrew says, best to take something and hop to a different market. I'm running reefer sometimes. I move for $2.20 a mile. I'm still getting $3.50 a mile in this market. Right. We have guys in dry van getting way over what some of these companies call the average rate. They're getting way over that. Why? Because they run in a shorter radius. They found the market and they stay in that market. If you take a look at the map, 1, 2, 3 load board right here, everybody knows the codes. 48035. You can get a free month to check it out, and it's $35 a month. But if you look at van here, look at all the green now. So it's picking up. Look at all the yellow right here. There's really not a whole lot of weakness. Right? You don't have a whole lot of weakness there. Now, reefer, they're doing well too in certain areas. Right? So if you go up here, Idaho, Oregon, Washington, these are good areas right now. This is a good area. Same thing with the Midwest. It all looks good for reefer. So then you gotta look at yourself and say, okay, check how much inbound to outbound there is and negotiate. Because if there's a lot more outbound loads than inbound, you do have a better chance to negotiate the rate. You've got to be a salesman. Right, Dean? You got to learn how to sell.
Yeah, you do. Look, and listen, there's no I guess, magic word or magic phrase. I like to use the phrase, how much too much is it? And it works a lot of the times. But look, there's no magic phrase. I think, look, there's a book out there that if you read this book, it's not going to make you sell better or be able to sell more, right? Remember, people always want to buy. They don't want to be sold. That's number one. Number two, if you understand people, you're way ahead of the game. And you can do that even on the phone. Because there's many versions of this out there. But the book I'm speaking of is called Colors, right? So you have red, yellow, green, and orange. And those are the 4 personalities. Now, some other books do it a little different. But if you recognize what somebody is over the phone, like a red's the guy that's just going to go through a brick wall and get anything done. Or green is your sales guy, chameleon, work the room, that type of thing. Orange, caretakers, yellow are your engineers. They analyze everything, need a lot of information before they make a decision. But if you can sense that on the phone and you can do it, I'm telling you, you're going to be well ahead of the next driver that calls in.
Let me move myself out of the way. Now this is van freight, and let me zoom in on this so you can see. I guarantee you, if you look at Fremont, Ohio to PA, 236 miles, paying $1,100, $466 a mile, you are not getting that on a dedicated run. What do you think, Dean? Are they getting $466 a mile a dedicated run for 236 miles?
No, they're not.
No,
but they'll argue
not.
that they're going to be more consistent. Okay.
Right. See, and this is $1.64 above what the average rate was. So you can't tell me there's no money on the spot market. There is. You just got to be in the right spot. Because if you look and sort this by your rate per mile, there's $467 a mile for 147 miles. Some people say, well, I need 400 miles a day or 600 miles a day. No, you don't. It's all about that money right there. This money right here. A guy could take this $1,100 for 236 miles and beat the guy going 700, 800 miles all day long. all day. 700 bucks, 156 miles, 449. So you could sit there and just run the short stuff. $2,300, 442 a mile, Ohio to North Carolina. Now get this. If they say the average van, and I have to look at the rate. I didn't look at the rate today. Anybody know the average van rate right now?
$1.95.
$1.90. Is it $1.95?
So I think freight makes sense somewhere.
Okay. But let's say it is. Do you understand, people, that if you took this load for $442 a mile, $2,300 for 520 miles, you could deadhead all the way back 520 miles and still be at $221 a mile above the average. So if you came back for $1, and if you add that dollar in there, what's your average? Way more than the average. Way more. You could go to 520 and come back and still be above the average. Could you not? Yes or no?
Yes.
Right. So if somebody says, well, I'm going to go back to that area because it's good. And another thing coming out of here is $1. Guess what? You take the dollar and you go back up there. Why? Because this is why. If you made $2,300, right, that load going down, and it's 520 miles, so you got another $520 coming back, right? So you got, what, $2,820? And if you divide that by 1,040, you're at $271 a mile for all miles. $271. But wait, you can't do that. And you're $1. You're almost $1 more than the average. I think it's in the 2 something though, the average, but I'd have to look. But you're still above the average. But you know you're coming back up from North Carolina back to Ohio for more than $1. It might be $1.50, $1.80, maybe $2. But you're going to beat it every single time. Just like this one here. Clyde, Ohio to Mechanicsburg, PA. It's no longer available. Somebody took it. Of course they did. $1,700 for 385 miles. Who wouldn't take it? Right. It's
and you do 2 of those, and then
what's up, Just Trucking's in the house. What's up, buddy?
And then you get something a little, maybe it's a little cheaper to finish out the week and go home. I don't know.
All right, that trend line says Snorlord says it's 238 on the average, right? So just look at the example I gave you. If a guy took this $2,300 down in North Carolina, and all he could get was $1 a mile, instead of sitting there, he said, I'm taking $1 a mile back to Ohio. Why? Because when I do the math, I'm at $271 for all miles. I am 33 cents a mile above the average. It's just math. I know it's hard for some. Got to have the right calculator, though. You got to have the right calculator. You got to use a real good calculator. Don't laugh, Dean. Dean's being quiet. He's silent. He must have his Starbucks on hand.
No, I got one this morning, though. It was 3 days, man. I waited 3 days to get my Starbucks, man.
Smooth Trucking says it's called doing math. Remember who the Smooth Trucking cracks me up. All right, so let's scroll back up here and see. Plus, you save a little on gas mileage pulling empty. You do. That is a savings. Smooth Truck says, class is in session. I'm late to class. Don't give me detention. Yes, detention. Cash App.
$100 late fee.
Yeah, $100 late fee. $sign, But so let's take a look. Let's take a look at another load. Almost every single one of these loads you could take to these areas. Right? So Ohio to West Virginia, 925, 420 a mile. Okay, so let with 123 load board, right? We come down here, you see the rate check. And the reason why I like this load board is mileage tolls, get that out of there. If you go to backhauls right here, there's 13 loads going back to Ohio. You click on them. Oh my God, look at here. $700, $281 a mile. So you go in there for $422 a mile, and you come back for $281? You're killing the average of what so-called the DAT says. Because I always say that's a fictitious number. It's all about, I'll steal one of Dean's line. I'm going to steal your line, Dean.
All right.
No, I won't do it. I can't do it.
Let's hear it, man. Come on,
No.
let's hear it.
Can't do it, man. No.
What's the line?
Look, you got to have the will to do the drill, right?
That's right.
You got to have the will to do the drill. And you have to have the mentality, right? You got to stop thinking as a paycheck truck driver and think of an entrepreneur. So you got to change your mindset, right? You got to look at a business in all numbers. It's a numbers game. It's like, as Ponzi Zombie Killer, welcome to the show, Ponzi, glad you're here. As Ponzi would say, you got to act like a bankster. You got to know those numbers. And if you're in the market, it's taking a dump right now, right? It's overinflated money. It's taking a dump. But you can make money in a down market. You just play it the other way. All right, so you could go there and back for above the average. I mean, there's a bunch of loads on here that meet that point, right back to where you came from. Well, here's $1.81, North Carolina, Ohio, right? I was saying it'd be, like $1.50, but $1.81. That'd still give you more. Yep, I don't like to make money. I just like to drive a truck. And I bought VXX. Now let me take a look at that. Let me see what you're into. VXX. Actually, I better change the screen here. Let me take a look. Oh, Lordy B, I'm up $116 today on this stock. Let's flatten that out. We'll take the money. Thanks, Ponzi, for making me check. $16.91, down 29 cents today. It's not bad. I mean, it's popped off its lows of. I think it was right around $16.84. Looks like somewhere in there. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. I might have to get me some of that. All right. Ready for the crash. Yeah, I was in ChargePoint, right? I was in CHPT. I bought 500. Then it dropped severely. So I bought another 500, which did me a cost average. It's all about math, right, Dean?
That's right.
So I cost averaged. And then I just turned it off, didn't look at it until Ponzi come in here, because I've been doing this video for, I don't know how long we've been online now for. Anybody got the time? 50 minutes? I looked at it 50 minutes. So I went down, I was down, I don't know, 400, 500, 600, and then I'm up 111 or whatever. So, I'll just get out now. Because I have a system. And that system is, if you are day trading and you can make a minimum of $100 a day up to, 500, let's say, do a range. If you get in that range, sell and quit and come back the next day. Don't keep at it.
You can dollar cost average your fuel too.
Right, you can dollar cost average your fuel. That's right.
That's right. A lot of guys say, well, I don't want to put too much fuel in. Well, just think, how many days you're going to run, and you're just going to run, go home on the weekend. Fuel's cheap. I mean, I'm just saying.
Right. let's take this density map, and you can do this with this thing. You can put reefer in here, right? So now it's going to be reefer and van. And that's why I like this thing here. So because Cool Trucking says look at reefer/van loads. So if we go to Florida, click on Florida and see these loads, I mean, you got $1.99 coming out of Florida, right? If you go in there, and you go in there for a decent price, yeah, you can haul out of there for that. I remember when Florida, you guys remember when Florida was 80 cents to $1? $1.95 back up to Kentucky. If you go down there for $3.50 a mile. Somebody said, well, you can't, you're going to get $2.80. Okay, so if you go down for $2.80 and come back for $1.95, what are you averaging? Just do the math. See if it works for you. I'm so sick of USA Truck. Aren't they in Ohio? Yep, stay between the lines. So we did a little Forex trading this morning also. And I have the same thing with Forex trading. You get up to a certain amount, stop. It's really easy to go in there and watch those charts and watch them go up and down, up and down. It's really easy to think, oh, I got this figured out. I'm going to jump in right here. And when you do, guess what happens? You end up losing. And then you got Talladega, Ohio for flatbed. Yeah, we'll go to find loads. Oh, Talmadge, I'm sorry. Talmadge. Not Talladega. Talmadge, Ohio. 150 miles. We'll pick flatbed. Hit apply. Search. Yeah, there's some stuff out of that area. North Lima, Ohio. Pittsburgh, PA, not too far away. 624 a mile. Ohio. 560 a mile. 517 a mile. Then we can look at deadhead, right? So we can go in here and say what's the deadhead mile, so we get the shortest deadhead, and there's loads right out of there going to Georgia. Prime's got them, right? 17-mile deadhead over Twinsburg, Ohio, 272 a mile, $1,500. 17 miles out of there, going $600 for 504. Yeah, so there's loads out of there. You can go South Dakota, go see Rich, Sandman. Yeah, it's probably a foam board. It probably is. That says 47,000 pounds on that one, though. This one right here, Talmadge, let's see. 7,000 pounds, so it will be foam board, right? 7,000 pounds, that's probably what it is. Antonio says, it seems as if I run my butt off and I can only make $1,000. I can barely pay my truck payment and maintenance for my vehicle and try to take her home. The rates are so bad with USA Truck. Well, where do you run, Antonio, with USA Truck? Where do you run? Because you could join the 123 load board, right? You could use the code. You could sit there and look around and say, okay, well, what's the spot compared to what they're giving me? Because we run a lot of USA Truck freight, and we're probably getting more. Because that's usually what happens, right? Right, you get 8,000 into Florida out of Boise. Right, you could come out of there for, pretty good money in this environment. There you go. I didn't have that up there. There you go. See, I had Talmadge there, 7,000 pounds. So that's got to be what it is. So, Dean, what are you doing today?
Well, I went up to Fargo this morning in North Dakota, and it got reloaded in the same place I delivered. then I'm headed home. You know, to your point, look, I've made just not exactly, but pretty darn close to what I was making when I had the W-9 running cross country. I've done that, just running short and only working 4 days a week. Now it's not the same, but it's close.
Right. Well, and Tony, if you had, if you got a truck, you can lease on over here. We got trailers.
I'll be right back.
Then maybe you can make more money and save up for your next journey in trucking. I could put the link up there. Everybody wants to come in. I'm probably not going to stay in here much longer, but here it is. I know Canadian Freight Broker probably want to come in, and if he comes in and starts in on the conversation, I'll have time to get some work done. Because he has a vast knowledge of a wealth of knowledge, and it's great that he shares it on YouTube for everybody. Oh yeah, I'd have to have a current 2290, yes, because you'd probably need a plate, right? So we need, if you come over here, we need a 2290 copy of the title and the plate, or 2290 copy of title and stuff. Let's see. What we got coming in here?
It's me.
No, let me kick this guy out of here. Let me give him the old Howard Stern dump valve. Let me dump him. Bam. What's up? What's up, Bill?
What? Not much. Can't see nothing. Oh, there's there you are. There I am. I'm just coming in here. Yeah, this is a good topic here. If rates are coming up now, man. I mean, if you look around, even the worst places in the United States, I just did a search out of Helena, Montana, and there's $253 freight coming out of there.
Right.
Florida, New Mexico, there's $250 freight coming out of there.
Right, because it's like anything else, right? It goes up and it goes down. It's just like the stock market. It's just like interest rates, right? They'll fluctuate. And in this business, there's a lot of fluctuation.
Right. Yeah, I don't know why people are complaining about rates now. Rates are looking good, pretty good now. Alabama was a little low coming out of there, but that was, a week and a half ago, so that market's probably changing now as well.
We do not have trucks. I'm not going to get into that game. If you have your own truck, you can bring it over. We used to have a contractor that had some trucks that would sell them to individuals, but I think he's done with that. Unless you got a bank to finance it. I think he has one truck left that he wants to do that with. But I don't think he's going to do it by lease purchase.
Right. There's been too many boneheads doing that. He's learned his lesson.
Right. Yeah. You get guys that, and I don't understand this. Why would you go lease a truck, do a lease purchase deal, and then not treat it like your own truck?
Yeah, I don't understand that.
It makes no sense.
Yeah, and I think once a guy signs on the dotted line, he should do everything in his power to get that thing paid off, if not on time, early. He should have it paid off early.
Right.
Especially with the way things are now.
Don't bite off more than you can. Your payback can swallow, and you'll be okay. Says Ponzi. Cash is your friend. Gambling is for fun. Right. And if you trade in the stock market, it's gambling. It don't matter. Well, I'm investing. It's still gambling because you could buy. Look at FTX stock. If you'd have bought FTX, you done lost all your money.
Yep.
right? If you'd have bought Kmart back in the day or Sears.
Did you see that crypto Ponzi scheme that guy did, where
Oh
all
yeah,
the money in his crypto was going to pay for all the
Democratic.
liberal politicians, big
Yes,
payouts?
yes,
Yeah,
yeah. This country is in some bad shape. It's
it
in some
is.
bad shape.
Yep. I don't know. I'm nothing but optimistic now. I'm looking at the markets and seeing things starting to open up. Things are looking good. Of course, it's supposed to be right now, before Christmas and everything. But
Right. So
for
we
a
look
while, I
at
was wondering if we was going to get a bump up or not.
right. So if we go to the availability map and look at all trailers in there, the map doesn't look bad. But if
No.
you go and look at flat, reefer, and van, because that's what most people are pulling, freight there. But
Yep.
if you take flat out of the deal, then the map even looks better.
Yeah, you even take some of the red states, which I don't understand. They always show Idaho yellow or even red, but you go in there and they always have way more loads
Right.
going out than they have coming in. I
Right.
think it's just have to do with volume.
Right. I would go to a red state because I know I could get out of that red state.
Yeah, I can. I never have any problems getting
So
out of, like right now, Nebraska or Wyoming, or you just got to know your markets and where to look. And New Mexico, it's booming right now.
look at Montana, right? If we go by rate per
Go to
mile,
Helena, Montana.
239 a mile, 237, 237, 235.
Right.
I
So
mean,
now if you get
and
your
that's
rate going in at $4 going in and you're 250 coming out, I mean that's not an overall rate, a bad overall rate. That's pretty darn
right,
good.
right, exactly, and that's not even negotiating. That's just if you just took what's there.
Right. And sometimes,
It,
people, they step on their own toes. They want to knock the broker out on every load they negotiate. Well, guys, sometimes you look at that load, and if you know the market, say, well, that's a reasonable rate for that. Well, don't beat the broker up over it, and he'll remember that. He says, well, this guy don't, the driver recognizes a fair rate, so he's not trying to beat me up, and I won't try to beat him up. Sometimes you got to create your own situations.
right, exactly, and that's like people in this trucking genre of YouTube. They like to see people fail. We don't.
Right.
We like to help pick people up and try to make them succeed. Right?
Yep.
Just like I did a feed last night, and somebody came in and said, "Oh, well, your dispatch service, Norlor, is going to be out of a job." No, they're not. No, he's not. You know why? Because
Because he's under the brokerage authority.
Right. I know how to set up companies.
Right.
Right?
Right.
I'm not one of these foreign dispatch services that just open a website and is doing stuff illegal. Right?
Right. Yeah, it's basic, simple. I mean, if you've been in this game any time, this is basic knowledge. Most one truck owner operators know this. They know how this game works. Especially your network, because when I negotiate rates with loads, I sell your whole network. I sell your YouTube channel. I sell all the people that you're friends with and have the availability of their companies and their trucks. And I tell them, I says, look, if we can't cover it, we can go out in our network and we can get you covered no matter what happens or where it's at.
Right.
And when you negotiate these rates, you got to take advantage of the knowledge that not just you and the people in your company, but the ones that it's like LinkedIn, your YouTube channels like LinkedIn. How many people that are on here would be glad to reach out and help somebody? A majority of them.
Correct.
People just don't use that resource.
Let's see. We got somebody else coming in. What's up, Antonio?
What's going on, guys? What's going on?
What's happening?
Not much.
Man, struggling.
Struggling.
It's yes. See, see what I wanted to do is get my authority, but as it's working out, it's not working out as I thought. I bought the truck. I finally finished my lease, and then I bought the truck. Now I'm trying to figure out how can I get my insurance for my authority, but it's cost too much for me to get because I'm only making it's about 20. They want like 15,000 for the year, which ain't bad. You know what I'm saying? For my first go around Lancer, not bad. You know, it's just the fact that I can't get the money because it's like I'm running for like dollars. You know what I'm saying? When you know I'm running the way you taught me. You know, since you've been at Snyder. You know, it's just like I can't make the money like I used to. All my old strategies to work here does not work anymore because they're bringing on more lease drivers because they're leasing out their old trucks now. So if there are good loads, I'm just not getting them. You know what I'm saying? Because I've been looking at this board all day,
Can't talk.
and let me show you,
Yeah.
it's pretty grand.
So, somebody's having a good old time there.
I was gonna say you got some jungle gym stuff going on over there.
I'm gonna show everybody. So because it seems like as if like it just don't make sense to me because like I sit in my office all day just searching all day, and it's just like I'm like I would not pull this when I okay. It's cool if I have my own authority. Like I don't care about the rates. The rates are the rates, you know. But it just for me, it's just like I can pull that if I had my own authority. You know what I'm saying? Or you know, but let
So
me show
what's the
y'all.
load you're pulling here?
The load I'm pulling right now is I'm not pulling anything right now. But as you can see, this is what I got. I have to deal with this every day, every week, and then I even increase the mileage, and I have to pull for, I have to take, I have to go pretty far to get a load, and then I go and I pick a load, and the area I'm going into is not, it just don't work out for me, you know, it just don't work out.
So what's your
Me and my family.
situation? Are you leased on with Schneider, or what?
Now I'm
What's
leased
your?
on with
I know
USA
you're trying to
Trucks.
get your own authority, but
Now
what
I'm
is
leased
your
on with
current
USA.
situation right now?
I'm with USA Trucks right now, so
Yeah, he's
Okay,
with
and so they
USA
take a
Truck.
pretty big
yeah,
percentage and all that.
they take it 65% of what I make, and the down market is just this that model doesn't work for me. So it's just I'm trying to figure out what's
I
my
mean, they
best
take
option.
35 and you get 65.
Yeah. They take 35, yeah, and I get 65. So it's like it's not really
And
helping me.
you own that. Try to move that thing over to an 80/20.
Yeah. That's what I'm looking at right
Uh,
now.
I mean,
I
if
just
you
have to
came
pay
over
my
here, you
2290 to move over. Yeah, so I can do that Friday, and I'm ready to leave today. Honestly,
and
but I
then if you
can't.
come over here and need any help, I'll help you all you need. I mean, I
I
got a
just
lot of
can't. I
time.
can't keep doing my family like this, and like my IRPs is it's just like $5,000, and I don't want to have to keep going into debt to fix this.
And Steve, he has a dispatch service as well. It'd probably be more advantageous for you to just go on with Steve for a while until you learn the techniques and everything on how to do it yourself. That's what I would suggest.
Yeah, I kind of want the experience of learning how to work with the spot market, you know, because I really want to get into pneumatics. I don't not like in the oil field, but like just local to St. Louis because we got a lot of pneumatic work around here. And that's how I wanted to do. I found a trailer, you know, it's like $5,500 is in Arkansas, but I can't make the money to get it. I just have it sit in my drop yard. I just have it sit there, you know. And so I'm able to get the stuff it needs for it, you know. They ain't never had no welds on it and nothing. Um,
Well, if you want
but
to get into the pneumatic, you got experience in that field?
nope, something
No,
new. I'm
go
ready
on.
to step
Lease your
outside my
truck to
comfort zone.
Oakley. Lease your truck to Oakley or something like that, and
Mm,
and have them teach you.
Right.
Learn on their equipment.
right. I don't know. Right now, I kind of just want to get the money to get my own authority. I can pay for training later. You know. Right now, I'm just trying to make some money for my family. Since we got to move and stuff. You know, because currently where we at, the house is too small. So it's like, okay, it's like, what do I do next? The Lowe's ain't really paying that great. Like, it's really not. It's not that good at all. Like, it really isn't. Like, I don't know. These are loads I deal with every day. Like, it's like $1.13,
Where are you
and
out
then
of?
St. Louis and St.
Oh
Louis is
wow, there's
Well, St.
good
Louis is a
rates
good
out
area.
there. Yeah,
Yeah,
I was
It's a
gonna
good
say
area.
there's great title.
but if I put in for a 100-mile radius, I don't know if y'all can see my screen, but I shared it to you. I don't know.
Yeah, you
Oh,
put that
let's
back
see.
up. You can put that back up.
I can't see
Where?
any screen.
Oh, there's Antonio.
Hold on. I'm trying
You
to
can
show
put that
y'all my
back
screen.
up. Antonio,
Like
put your screen back. I didn't know that
you
was
see,
yours. Here.
yeah, you
All
see
right,
that?
go ahead and talk about it.
You see this is what you deal with at USA. Like these loads, I know they're being cut off the top because I know most of these contracts they have are paying really good, and plus they just merged with DB Shank. So even after the merger, you can see this is all they got in St. Louis right here. This is it. This is all they got. And then I've been looking at this board forever. Now I'll be like, okay, well, let me increase it to 200 miles because
What
that's the
board
only
is
way I'm gonna
this? Is
find.
that the DAT
This
board or
USA,
an
no
internal
USA
board?
truck.
No,
No,
that's
it's USA
USA's
truck.
trucks board.
See,
Oh
like look at
man,
this. Look at that, $1.19, and then you gotta split that with them. Like these lows don't make sense. Like they don't make sense for what they're trying to give us, and then they're bringing in more drivers, making it even more harder for the person that's trying to do well and trying to stay consistent. Like this is not consistent. And then if I go to any of the consistent areas, they're inconsistent. It just doesn't make sense because now they're leasing out their old KWs. So it's like okay, now it's like okay, now I got to deal with that. Then I got to deal with company drivers. So it's like man, like what can I do? They're not going to give us their best loads, and that's
those
I know that for
definitely
sure.
aren't their best loads.
They're not going to.
Yeah,
No, none
that's
of these are. Look at this. Like look at it. Like this is ridiculous. Who's pulling loads for this amount? And then it puts me in a state of stress because I'm like, yo, I gotta constantly keep checking this thing. I can if my lows if one just say I find out what I want. If my lows cancel, it's over with for the rest of the week. There's no coming back from this. No coming back from this because if you're done, you're done. That's it. You might as well wrap it up because if you're not gonna find nothing else good, you know. And it's like, okay, now I'm pulling for pennies, and I got this truck. It seems as if they're trying to squeeze us out, all the independents out, so they can have all these loads for themselves. Because honestly, I don't see no
no, they
going
don't want
going
these
to
loads.
Well,
That's
like
why
look
they're
at
on this
that.
board. They don't want these loads on their company trucks.
yeah,
No,
Antonio,
they don't.
if you have your truck, just bring it over here. I got
Yeah,
a trailer
I'm
sitting
fin-
in Springfield.
I'm trying. I'm finna pay my 2290 Friday, and then I already started the application. I just haven't finished it. It's just I'm ready to
Because
leave. Like
I'll show you
I
what.
can't keep doing this, man. It's hurt. It's hurt my family. It's hurt
Let
my
me show you
wife.
my screen.
You know. All
I
right.
did a 100-mile radius around St. Louis, and you got
I
900
don't see
bucks
none of
Illinois
it.
to
Look,
Tennessee.
that low right there, that low for USA, I don't see that on the board.
Oh, this load,
Nope,
356,
I
356 a
don't see that
mile.
on the board. Nope. I used to take those lows too just to get out of here, but I don't see that on the board. And they banned me from taking Chewy lows anymore. So for 60 days because the appointment times are
See,
so
right
weird.
there,
You
that's your
know.
problem. They ban you. What are they, your parents? You're supposed to
Right.
be an independent. You're supposed to be able to be free to do your business the way you see fit. And they're not letting you. They're being your hindrance. Get out of that situation.
Right. Yeah, because I want to grow. You know, I don't want to drive trucks forever. I'm trying to be like Jeff. Sitting at home. Every so often, you know. I don't want to be driving like that, man. It's horrible, man. In the USA right now, and it's just getting worse. Honestly, they're not gonna.
Bonzi
They're
says, he said you should get things straight and roll with the Godfather. Move on. And I agree 100%, he says.
yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do it. I was just up there like not too long ago at the terminal, and I just when I had to take it random, and I was just noticing all these trucks just sitting here that's gonna be up for lease. I'm like, oh yeah, it's gonna get worse. It's gonna get worse. Because at first the independent was only 300 drivers, right? It was only 300, so it wasn't very. The loads they had, they really need help moving them. But now as the years go on, like you see it slowly decreasing. And then on top of that, they wasn't paying for our fuel surcharge because they was pulling from the spot market. We was with their broker side. They didn't pay us for fuel surcharge for 8 months. And then they come back and send us a message, hey, sorry, we apologize. We wasn't paying y'all for fuel. Okay, well, where's my money? Where's my money at? Y'all didn't pay me for fuel for 8 months, and we just supposed to say you're sorry. That's it. That's all we get. It's like it's
I don't
ridiculous.
give legal advice.
It's so ridiculous. It's stupid. Like you all these drivers, then we sit here pulling loads off your board, off your brokerage side. They didn't pay for fuel all of a sudden now, and then now they recognize they weren't paying for fuel. So what they do, they'll take money off the rate and make that the fuel surcharge. It's
Yeah. I don't know what to say, Jeff.
it's getting ridiculous, man. Because like I know fuel is like you can't include that into a very it changes so often. Like I can't like I don't understand. Like it don't make sense to me. Like I'm trying my best to. And I'm basically chasing my tail every time I go out there. I'm like, man, what am I out here for? I'm making like $900. My last check was like 1,300. Before that was like six. Another driver, his check was 200, and he only had two loads because he couldn't find nothing else. What can you do? Most of the loads are taken. They're adding more drivers. And they don't see the issue because they don't care. They just making. It's all about how
Right.
they're making money.
Well, they have a closed load board, right? Just like
And they don't
Schneider.
treat us like partners.
Right, it's a closed load board, so they can control what they want you guys to see, and they can control where they want you to go.
Right. Yeah.
Right? Right, Bill? So
Yep,
if
they
you're
can co-broker. They can co-broker with their own brokerage and cut 70% off that line haul, and you won't know one thing about it because you don't
It's
get
not
to see the
transparent.
initial Raycon.
Raycon, right?
Yep. It's not transparent. Like they can come up with any Raycon and show me it, and then make me, just to make me shut up. That's what they'll do that. Like, and I don't trust them. Like, I'm sorry. I'm not saying they're a bad company. It's just for company drivers, they're really great. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to like when it comes down to like how they're treating the ICs, it's just not right, man. Like most of these people are just not. They're not right, man. Like most of them, like USA, they IC department sucks. It does. Like it's pretty bad over there, man. I highly recommend everybody don't come there. And everybody that jump in these trucks, like this dude just jumped in the truck for $800 a week. I said, how you gonna afford that?
Man, he's got like a clacker going back there.
Yeah, he does.
Is that me or is that you?
Yeah.
That's you. That's you. Yeah. I don't know, some toy your kids are playing with or something.
Yeah, it's a. Unless you're too close to a speaker, it sounds kind of like a.
No, my mic working.
Oh,
Well, now
I
quit.
don't know.
Yeah. Oh yeah, this is my setup. This my computer.
Oh, he's got a setup. He's got a little
Yeah,
green
he does.
screen thing behind him.
Yep. Yeah, I got a green screen. I used to do a lot of YouTube, but I stopped doing it because I'm trying to focus on my business. Like I put that to the side.
Tennessee Trucking says that's why Frank left USA.
Yeah, he did, and he's doing good at Landstar, but he's still taking a lot of money from him every week. So I don't get it. Like I don't know. For me, I'm just ready to move. I'm finna move though. I'm already trying to just use what I got. I'm finna get up out of here, man. I can't stay here. It's not profitable. I'm not making no money. When I look
Yeah,
at when I sit down,
Jeff said he's got an available trailer.
yeah, Springfield, I think you said.
Yep. I mean, hell, come over here. You got all the freedom you need, all the help you need. I mean,
Right.
you got all the backup over here. Sounds like
Right.
US don't want to back you up.
No, they just, it's just they don't see. They see an issue, but they're not fixing it. Most of these drivers who are going to jump into these trucks are not going to know what to do, and they don't understand it. Like leasing company trucks is a scam. And they're not going to say that. They're not going to tell you that. But wait till you find out when your check's starting to be as much as a company driver, and you could have just drove as company. Just my thing. I tell everybody, hey, you can make any truck new.
Yeah, but if you
Right.
got yours paid off, I'd get it out of there. That would be my
Yeah,
advice.
my truck ain't paid off, but I only owe 68,000. 2019 Freightliner. It only got 314,000 miles. 340,000 miles. That's it. It's 4 years old. I finished
So
my
you're
lease.
stuck where you're at then, right?
No, I finished my lease.
Oh, you're leaving.
I got
Okay.
I got my title. I got everything. I got everything to get the truck registered, but I can still move but I just can't get my RP. You know, I don't have the money for it. So, but I'm ready to move by this week. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to get to
Well, if you come over
by
here,
next
you
week.
got access to a lot of different boards, and
Yeah, I've been
we got
using
a
one, two,
good
three
fuel
for the past
discount,
couple
tire
weeks.
discount. We got good insurance discount.
Man, and see, that's the thing about USA. Like, if I want to buy tires, I only can go to Love's, and Love's is overpriced. They super overpriced. I can't go. And then we only get 25%, 20 cent off. And USA get more than that. But the guy said, "Oh, we're using that for our profits." Well, what happened to the rest of the money that we're saving? What we supposed to save in fuel? It doesn't make any sense to me. Like, where's that money going? It ain't going to
It's
La La Land.
it's lining the pockets, not to the driver.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, Bill,
What?
I'm on the snore lord diet. Beef sticks.
Yeah. Yeah. I wonder when he's going to get his venison sticks this year, or his venison jerky.
He didn't go hunting.
Yeah, I heard.
He's letting us
So
down,
how
man.
much is the tire discount?
Oh, it varies.
It varies.
See, I go on the internet. I get Xena drive tires for $267 a piece. I bought 4 of them already, and I've had them for 6 months, and they're working perfectly. Haven't had an
200 a
issue with
piece.
them.
I need tires now.
Yeah, it all
I only need
depends.
one. I need to replace one, but I really want to replace all 8. It's hard to do that. I can't even like man. I buy oil change and I'm broke again. It's like it's crazy. You can't. It's hard to maintenance your vehicle. Like how can you stay safe? Like you're not making enough money. Then they have Walmart accounts, right? Oh well, we can sign up for the Walmart account. It's $1,000 a day after my percentage. So after my percentage, I'm only getting paid $650 a day, no fuel surcharge. So I got to pay for that myself. Like, how is that a deal? Like, normally I
Uh,
get paid at least $2,500 per load. I know y'all.
yeah, Bridgestone drive tires are running about 250 off of what the truck stop sells them for.
Yep.
They're at about $500, but then you can go down and get cheaper ones, the other brands, of course.
I would just,
I can get on
honestly,
that
I just put
drive for
name brand.
$2,400.
Yeah, I don't care. Like, I only want name brand on my steers. That's how I would work. Until I get some money. I gotta get some money.
Some Xena, they're called Xena, Zenna, and they're $267 a piece. They're like $306 after tax, and yeah, $2,400 around for all 8.
Yeah, like double
Yeah, I do
coins
that.
are $300, $323.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking.
And I'm not afraid to
Because
use them off
I
brand.
can get paid every day over
Hand
there.
cooks
So
are
realistic, I can get out my situation
400.
faster.
Yep.
I'm just trying to survive this, man. I ain't trying to give up. Like I see a lot of equipment being for sale on Facebook Marketplace. There are a lot of people losing their equipment.
Well, you have to go to a place where you have the opportunity to look at all the freight.
Right. I
And
mean,
negotiate.
I was looking at 1, 2, 3 load boys. The loads on there don't look bad at all. Like I don't think van rates are going back to normal. I'm used to it being like $250, $3 a mile. That's what I'm used to. I don't know. Everybody else, they came in when COVID came in. I made a lot of money doing COVID.
Tennessee Trucking says, I've been here at Light Trucking. It's been good so far. Snowler dispatches my truck. My truck just keeps eating my extra funds by all my bills are paid and get home when needed. Not broke.
Man, let me tell you. If I tell you it's hard, if I tell you as soon as Friday come when I get paid, I'm not gonna have no. It's gonna be gone.
I'm leased here at Like, and we're semi-retired. We don't run real hard, and we still do pretty darn good. So
Yeah, I mean, cause I just want to be able to run. Like, I want to come by the house like I want to. Not come home. I just want to run by the house. Be home, like just run by the house. you know, every now and then, not often, but you know, I want to be able to stretch my legs and go out to Cali if I want to, but you know, but it's, you know, it's
St.
just
Louis
not.
is one of the best markets in the country right now. I don't know why you can't get good paying freight out of St. Louis. I mean,
They lost all their
that's
contracts in
where the
Missouri.
breadbasket is, man.
Like Jeff was saying
Right.
about the dedicated freight, they lost all their contracts over here. We had Campbell's that going to Maxton. We don't got that. We had Dial, lost that. PNG, lost that too. We ain't got those contracts in St. Louis no more because they said this is, I quote, this is what my driver advisor said. They don't have very many trucks coming here anymore, so they stopped coming here a lot. But you got a lot of independents that live in St. Louis. I don't know. I just can't keep doing this. I'm like a dog chasing my tail right now.
Well, you need to come over to Jeff. You'll do a lot better over here. That's all I got to say.
Matter of fact, I'm about to get off here. I got a lot of work to do. I got I got so much
Well, I'm gonna
stuff
have
to
the
come in here.
application finished. I'm probably gonna have the application finished probably today. I'm probably gonna jump back on there again. Finish it.
All
All right, Jeff,
all right,
let's
Tony.
go.
I just gotta get my 2290 and stuff situated. And, I want to just go straight to work. What
Yeah,
ELD system do y'all use?
we'll help you all we can, Antonio.
What ELD system do y'all use?
What?
Or can I? What ELD do y'all use?
Oh, Samsara.
Oh, okay. Can I bring my own, or do I have to? Use
No, you
Samsung?
got to have Samsara.
Okay.
But it doesn't cost you nothing. We provide it.
Oh, it don't. Oh,
No,
okay.
it's all included. We don't
Okay, is it
charge
an
it for the ELD. You know, it's all included in that percentage.
Is the OBD port one, or is it one that I have to actually physically get put in?
Well, you got the round. What kind of truck do you got?
I'm using. I got a freight line. I got the round one.
Yeah, so
But
it's got the round plug.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Right.
Because I got Geotab. I bought Geotab ELD and for a whole year, and I can't even use it right now. So.
Yeah, all you would need is a tablet.
Right. Yeah, I got one of those. Yeah. Okay.
To-
I got. Oh, okay.
to run
That's
ELD
even-
with.
That's even more simple. Oh, I know how to do that. I can
And
definitely put it in.
the best thing is, you don't have to come to Michigan if you don't want to sign on.
Mm-hmm.
You could go to Springfield, where the trailers.
Oh
are.
yeah, well, Starla, yeah. I
And
can drive
it's-
3 hours there. It only
Right,
costs
you
me
guys,
like
and you guys
$200.
could put the stickers and the ELD in and everything right there.
Okay. All right then. Well, I appreciate that, Jeff. I'm finna go ahead and finish everything today. I gotta get my 2290.
Hold on a minute, Bill. All right, I gotta jump off here. Just let us know, Antonio.
I will. I'll call you.
All right,
All right.
all right, everybody. Thanks for watching. We got to get out of here. We got work to do. We'll see y'all later.